Hello, today let's talk about pretty fresh FiiO's BTR7. It's the new generation of Bluetooth receivers, or actually in this case probably it's a portable digital to analog converter with Bluetooth support, because they really implemented a lot of no compromise ideas here. And you probably know that FiiO's BTR5 became a huge success on the market. A lot of people liked its sound and use it as their main audio source, both in wired and in wireless mode, because it's a good receiver, but it's also a pretty decent small USB digital to analog converter. And actually soon after the release of BTR5, rumors about more advanced model that would be named BTR7 started circulating inside of community. But it took quite a long time for FiiO to build it, and now we see it in the flesh. And here FiiO implemented a lot of ultimate things. So it powered with XMOS chipset for USB interface and Qualcomm for the wireless connectivity. It supports virtually all Bluetooth codecs available now: AAC, SBC, LDAC, and all type of aptX, including HD and low latency one. It's a pretty decent addition for those who want to use it, for example, for the video. And here used the two 9219 digital to analog converters by ESS, and amplification is made by THX, so FiiO has experience integrating this amplification. And also they used some sophisticated power supplies that separates digital and analog part, so a lot of no compromise ideas here. And as a result we getting powerful output, about 160 milliwatts for 32 ohms load in single-ended mode and 320 in the balanced. Work time up to 9 hours, but it really depends on load and gain and what codec will be used. With tough to drive headphones and LDAC codec you'll get about 6 hours. With more sensitive models and AAC you'll get more. It supports wireless charging, so all things are here. And the price, initial price was announced at $230, but in many places it's available now for just $200. So let's have a closer look. Package is traditional for recent FiiO products, looks pretty fancy. I've said many times that I really like this foil design. Inside you're getting digital to analog converter itself and some basic set of accessories. So let's see what we are getting. Here, small leatherette case. So pretty nice addition if you want to keep it safe. And here, some papers probably. And two cables, short USB Type-C to USB Type-C to connect it to some smartphone, and short USB Type-A to USB Type-C for charging, connecting to your laptop or something like that. Pretty nice set of accessories for the small, I can't call this receiver, I will call it digital to analog converter. As you can see, in terms of size, it's noticeably bigger than, for example, BTR5 or usual portable digital to analog converters, but it's smaller than many other products with batteries on board. And in terms of design, of course, they were inspired by FiiO M11 series. Actually, it's like mini version of M11. I like it. It's kind of sample in terms of design. Nice glass-like front and back panel, hexagonal buttons on the right side, so FiiO is pretty consistent in terms of design. On the bottom you've got USB, and you can use it for charging or you can use it as digital to analog converter. On the top side there are two sockets, 4.4mm balanced and 3.5mm single-ended. Actually it supports tall controls and microphone on the headphones, but it should be CTIA standard. Also, it has own microphone, so you can use it for talks, but it's better to move it closer to your mouse. On-off button, also multifunctional button, and volume controls, and you can also navigate tracks with it. And nice additional feature, they added this toggle that can disable charging with from the USB, so you can easily now turn on and off charging. If you want to use it as digital to analog converter, for example, with your smartphone, you can disable charging and it will consume less power. And here is small but pretty bright and colorful IPS screen on the front panel. FiiO not use it really great for now, because they show the used codec signal resolution. Probably there could be more information added, but I see mentions that they are working on the firmware updates, so it's really likely that we'll get more stuff done. But what is really good here is that they implemented really convenient menu for the to control everything. So let me first of all make screen brighter. So let's set brightness to maximum level. By pressing this button, you're getting into the menu. You can navigate menu with side buttons, and here you can change gain. You can select filters, fast or hybrid, just two of them so far. Equalizer, and you can actually select few presets, or you can activate user one. But I usually prefer to keep it off. Car mode, really good when you use it with your car stereo. When you start your engine, it will turn on and boot up. When you shut engine down, it will power off. Audio, you can select USB audio version 2.0 with high resolution support, or 1.0 that works with some older device like Nintendo consoles or something like that. And screen brightness, language, screen timeout, input priority, Bluetooth first or USB first. And you can also do factory reset, and you can check out the version. As you can see, you can control almost all functions from the device itself, but of course they have a companion app. Here is the companion app where you can control all settings more conveniently. So you can see device itself, currently used Bluetooth codec, battery status, and here additionally you can change the device name, update firmware. Actually there is a wireless update and it's even working. I downloaded and installed 1.71 firmware. Clean pairing, restore to default settings, and shut down the device if you'd like. Here you can select wire function on and off, idle power off. You can select what Bluetooth codecs it will use. Also you can select how you like these buttons to work. So hold them to switch tracks and click repeatedly to change volume, or double click to switch tracks and then holding these buttons will change the volume gradually. Depending on your preferences, you can select both options. Then equalizer, you can actually use classical linear equalizer, or you can, yes, let's reset it, confirm. Or actually in recent firmware updates they've added parametric equalizer if you want to tune everything even deeper. A really nice addition for those who like to change the sound settings drastically. Also here are audio settings. You can select volume limit, Bluetooth volume and volume on call, channel balance. Also there is a boost power boost mode for it's mainly used for low sensitive headphones. And you can activate distortion compensation and select second and third harmonic compensations. Actually I tried playing with them and they changing a bit treble representation, but I can't say that it's like doing something super really better, but it's a matter of preferences here. Also there is a guide if you want to briefly learn what to do with this device. As you can see, nice convenient companion app, and also I need to say probably a few words about the connection quality, and it's a pretty decent. I had almost zero drop-offs except of LDAC. LDAC mode with focus on the sound quality. But actually LDAC in sound quality mode is pretty fragile. In general, I often getting drop-offs with other devices too. But with balanced or connection quality LDAC mode, it works with zero issues. At least for me. Of course, it depends on the amount of electromagnetic interference outside around of you. And of course about the sound. You know, it's really simple. BTR7 continues the ideas of BTR5. It's natural, it's monitoring, but it's more powerful and a bit more natural because it's slightly less focused on the micro contrast. So it sounds a bit less bright comparing to BTR5 and overall more organic and natural. Bass is well controlled, it goes deep as far as Bluetooth codecs allows, because Bluetooth codecs reduces extension on both ends and slightly reduces resolution and stage. So in USB mode you'll get maximum depth of bass and pretty good control thanks to nice amplification section and thanks to good power supply. It's really good in terms of driving. And it's not trying to color low frequencies to any side or adding weight or highlighting small nuances. So overall it's really fairly balanced and not adding any coloration. And as an example, here is Musica Nuda, I Will Survive. Really good representation of double bass with lot of nuances and overtones, with good sense of realism and at the same time without attempts to exaggerate size of double bass or without attempts to make it more realistic than it is in real life. Mid frequencies are natural, uncolored, with really good resolution, especially in USB mode, of course. Imaginary stage is noticeably above average in width and in depth, with nice layering, so well built, pretty spacious and three-dimensional, without any problems or artifacts. It's not trying to add some weight or to highlight something to hide, but at the same time it's not being super monitoring and super analytical. In general sounds pretty musical and engaging, but it depends of course on record itself. And as an example for the mid frequencies, pretty complex track, it's Marvin Gaye, and track Right On, perfect vocal with emotions, nuances and a lot of it requires a lot of technical performance, and this digital tonal converter delivers it really well. In wireless mode, of course, it will be slightly worse, a bit more pale and lifeless, but in USB mode it deals with it in a really good manner. And treble also good extension, actually maximum in wired mode, slightly less in, of course vice versa, maximum in USB mode, less in wireless, but nice, technical, really natural, saturated, good and with nice amount of overtones. Of course don't expect layering in the wireless mode, but in USB mode you will get even basic layering. And as an example, it's Pat Metheny and Lyle Mace, it's for you. Lot of nice percussions that requires good technical performance. Even in the wireless mode it plays this track pretty okay, but in wired mode absolutely flawless performance that I really like. In terms of pairings, it's a really universal device. Of course, it won't drive some super high impedance models or some tough to drive planars, but actually regular full-size headphones will be pretty okay with it, and from the balanced output it drive even expensive models like, for example, Meze Lyric pretty well. Not perfect, but pretty well, and it's really important that it has built-in battery in this aspect, because it shows a better control compared to devices that are pure USB powered in many cases. And with sensitive in-ear monitors, absolutely zero issues, low really low background noise, no hiss, no anything like that, and a nice amount of volume regulating. You can find the proper volume with ease without any problems. But of course, you know, it's hard to describe the sound of device itself because it sounds well, it's technical, but not colored. A more interesting aspect actually its compressions. It's a noticeable step forward compared to BTR5 and BTR5 2021. It's more technical, more impactful with basically you can feel that it has more power and more drive. It sounds more energetic, bit less monitoring and more natural and organic overall. Compared with Shanlink UA5, it's more natural. Shanlink is slightly adding slightly more warmth to the sound. What else I've got to compare? Actually, Kane Ru 6, it's basically Ru 6 is really different because it's more highlighting emotions, more energetic, more forward in terms of representation, while this one is closer to neutrality. So it's a matter of preferences. And actually, this thing kills all players in the about $200 more price tier because it delivers more technical and more balanced sound to my ears. Of course, it lacks actually player functionality itself, but in terms of sound quality, it's a really well built device with tons of interesting features with great space for improvement. I definitely believe that FiiO will update firmware and add a lot of missing things here. So it was BTR7, really interesting portable USB digital to analog converter with wireless functionality. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a nice day.